This is Driving Solutions, exclusively on CPTnews.com.
Hey everyone, Jim Fitzpatrick. Thanks so much for tuning in to another edition of Driving Solutions, exclusively right here at CBT News. The average time spent in the automotive sales process can range from, as we know, several hours to even days, proving time-consuming for both consumers and dealership personnel alike. One solution to this problem is a point-of-sale system like we've seen in other retail segments, but we haven't really seen in retail automotive yet. So here now with me on the show to talk about this solution is Yaron Rosen, who is the CEO of Fuse Autotech. So Yaron, thank you so much for joining us on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Sure, great. I might add that you are calling in today from Israel, so that's we don't always have that here at CBT News, so we're now, I guess that makes us kind of an international broadcast, does it not? I mean,
yeah, it does.
Well, welcome to the show. Sure. So for the people that are out there, for the dealers that are out there that are listening to us today and are not as familiar with your company, Fuse, as we are here at the show, tell us a little bit about the company, how it got started, the motivation behind it, and what solution it provides to dealers today.
Yeah, great. So thank you again for having me. I think that Fuse is a great story. It's sort of a great combination between dealers that wanted to solve huge challenges that they had on their day-to-day operations, trying to make buying a car a great thing for customers and for dealers at the same time, and wanted to use technology, which is advancing very, very fast. When I met this company only 9 months ago, and I stepped into a Toyota dealership somewhere in the Midwest, I was amazed at the problem, and I actually fell in love with the problem. That's the greatest asset of an entrepreneur, to fall in love with the problem and to really want to solve it. So that's what I found at Fuse.
Sure. And what was the problem that you found?
Well, from you can look at the challenges that dealers have from a few points of view. First of all, for the customer, which is the person that wants to just buy a car, the customer wants a few things when he buys a car. He wants respect for his time. He wants to control the process. And he really wants to understand that the person talking to him is giving him a fair chance of understanding how the price is calculated, the visibility into how things are working. From the dealership side, you can really see that it's quite hard to sell a car. From how you train a salesperson all the way to whatever process, whatever dealer type you are, how do you actually take that customer the full journey at a time that makes sense for you at Saturday, 2 p.m., let's say? You have a huge line.
That's right.
And that's when I visited the first Toyota dealership that I went to, and I was amazed. Like, guys, this is a huge thing, and you're printing out like real paper, like using this thing of the past. No, let's not do that. Let's try to do this better. That's what Fuse is trying to solve.
Sure. So can you elaborate a little bit, and what exactly is this? Is it an F&I tool?
No, well, it's a blow up of an F&I tool. It's the whole thing between the person stepping into the dealership, the whole part between the CRM and the DMS. So everything in between is what we do, including the financing of the car. Again, whatever it is, whether it's cash, lease, or finance, and it actually takes it aligns the buying or the selling of the car in whatever selling process you have, communicates with the customer, does the desking, does the credit application, the compliance, the whole journey, and then to the menu, and then to the document signing, and then checking you out, giving you the car keys, and hopefully you're a happy person. And the best thing, it should be under an hour. That's what we're trying to do.
Wow.
And we're successful in it.
So this is I would imagine that this is kind of a kiosk situation set up on the showroom floor. Is that how that works?
Yeah, again, whatever dealer type you are, we can adapt and customize the tool, the platform, so it provides you with your way of selling a car.
Hmm.
But basically, the way we would frame it, if you want to be like, really want to sit with a customer and show him the screen, that's one type of dealer. The
Hmm.
other type of dealer wants to transfer the customer from a salesperson to the F&I manager, but
Hmm.
you would use one screen, one system, one login for the whole process. Everything is integrated inside, no waste of time, no paper, full automation of the process end to end. And the amazing thing is we can do that again under an hour. Our dealers that have integrated our system on average sell a car in roughly 112 minutes,
Wow.
and a little under 20% of our deals are done under an hour, which
Oh.
is amazing. You see the smile on everyone's face, both the
What?
seller and the buyer.
So when you have, if a consumer has, which many of them do, they have a trade in. What? How does that? How do you work the trade process?
Perfect. Great question, because everything is automated inside. So inside the system, we have a few options of, trade-ins and a few stations that we would ask the customer, whether it's on the desking side or later on, when we're doing the credit application and the loan itself. And we have KBB integrated or others, and it's just integrated inside. It's super seamless.
Okay. Okay. And I would imagine that this is in practice now at dealerships here in the U.S.
Correct. Yeah, we are proven it works. We since we deployed our last version in September, we did almost 18,000 deals, financed over $500 million. And we're really, really excited. The system works smoothly, wonderfully, integrates with most of the CRMs and DMSs.
Sure.
It's just fantastic.
So it's conceivable then that a consumer would be able to do the entire transaction by him or herself right there on the showroom floor, maybe without any assistance, or does this need somebody there with them to do it as well?
That's a great question, because it points out two very interesting things about the product. We made this product for the Gen Z, not for you and I. This is made for the typical salesperson that does not have to go through a very rigorous training, process.
Hmm.
It is easy to use. It is very intuitive. I've watched salespeople, besides the fact that they learn very fast and they just want to use it and just let us go because it's
Sure.
very intuitive, they actually push the keyboard towards the customer and say, you know what, just you push that forward, because it's a very, intuitive next, press next
Right.
thing. You can go to the next phase if you didn't, finish whatever needs to be done.
Sure.
That's the first. The second thing is, which is very interesting, and that's how we see digital retail as at its best, is that you can do everything remotely as well. So whether you're sitting, if I'm buying the car and my wife is at home, but we want to co-sign this car,
Hmm.
I could be at the dealership driving it and then going and saying yes and starting the deal. And then she can sign it from the house or vice versa.
Hmm.
And another scenario, which is very interesting, everything can be done remotely. So let's say someone stepped in, stepped out, and he doesn't want to finish the deal that day. You as a dealer have 10 deals, end of the month, you want to
Right.
push some more deals. You can just call these guys. They can sign the deal remotely from their homes after you give them whatever offer that they cannot refuse. So the whole thing is really, really easy. And everything, when I said average 112 minutes, everything I mentioned before, that is from the moment you step in and we start the desking. But the average from yes to a done deal is 99 minutes.
Oh my
Think
gosh.
about it. What that means for a dealer, money, efficiency, and what that means for customers. They'll come back to you because it was great buying a car. And that's
That's
what
right.
you want.
And
You want the return customer.
you're taking it all the way through F&I. I mean, they stay
All the
on
way.
this all the way through.
One screen, one system.
Boy, that's very nice. That's a nice feature to have in the showroom. So, how are dealers and salespeople and managers? What are their reviews on this?
Before we started in the first dealership, it was a dealership. I told the general manager, I told him, you know, Bryson, I'm telling you now, and reach out to me if I'm wrong. This is not just a system, it's going to be a cultural change for your dealership. And why is that? Because embedded in the system, you will suddenly have a dashboard for everything that's going on at the dealership. And by that, I mean that the general manager now suddenly can see every salesperson. What is he doing? How long is he stuck in every phase? And let's say end of the day, you want to debrief, you want to reflect on what happened the full week, the full
Sure.
day. You can actually teach everyone, hey, look, this guy's doing desking very fast. Why don't you step up and say, what are you doing? You're probably doing something well. So the whole thing really changes. The visibility to what's going on really provides the general manager with visibility and control and better management tools that he can have. That's the first part. The second part is he can make more money. After 3 months, we've given this to a third party to look into the numbers that Fuse provided to the dealerships that we work with, and they made $180 more on their PVR.
Wow.
What else do you need in 3 months? And this is only the first 3 months. So we're very, very proud of how the system is working for our dealerships.
I bet. Not only are you increasing gross profit, you're also getting a better CSI, excuse me, a CSI score during this entire process, right?
Correct. Yeah. For customers that are stepping out from a Fuse dealership would give a perfect CSI score for this dealer. I mean, there's no question about that.
Yeah. What are some of the cons that a dealer may say, well, I'm not there yet because of X, Y, and Z? Are there any issues or challenges that you're still dealing with?
Yeah, so I always, as a CEO of a startup, it's always about expanding and selling more because you want to bring your product to more and more managers and dealers. And the question is, why should they come? So besides everything that I said, it's always hard with the change management. That's what I find. Like people would say, hey, don't fix what ain't broken. Why should I move here? So one of the things I really insist on is how long it takes to deploy Fuse.
Yeah.
And this is not a CRM deployment. This is not a DMS deployment. This is not I don't want to say names here.
Yeah.
I don't want to push my luck here. I just want to say that from the moment we land at your dealership to the moment we have a soft launch and everybody's on board and understand how it works, 4 weeks. That's all.
How many? 4 weeks?
4 weeks. We do the whole dealership.
Wow.
Very, very easy. At the height of our first group transition, we did 5 dealerships a month. And we're not that big. So it was very, very fast. Dealer groups usually grow faster and faster in the pace. So it's an exponential curve there of the deployment. First 1 or 2 take a little bit more, but then everybody keeps talking about it and all the general managers are like, okay, we got it. Just bring it on.
And is there a service component to this as well?
Yeah, of course. Fuse, once you deploy Fuse, it becomes your point of sale system.
Okay.
And you have a lot of cool things that come with it besides the parts of the F&I, the loans, and the automation of everything the point of sale system does. We help the dealers with F&I improvements. We have some very, very interesting new upgrades and new add-ons that we will bring to the market as we move along during 2024. And they will all improve how dealers make money. Besides improving the F&I, new ways to integrate the whole process of automation in the dealership, including after the sale. So all the way to the servicing part and other parts that we want to integrate to one system at the dealership, the full life cycle of a customer and a car.
Right. That's fantastic. There's no question. There's a need for this right now out there. Obviously, the number one concern or the number one complaint that consumers have about buying a car is it simply takes too long, and that's even over price or anything else, right?
Yeah, I think when you look at the average from the NADA, numbers, you see that the average selling of a car is 3 hours.
Yeah,
I mean,
crazy.
you look at that, 3 hours, and it depends how you measure it, right?
I know.
That is way too much, for the year we are in, for the
is.
technology, for the way customers expect a retail transaction to be. I think there is a gap. And bottom line, they want, what do customers want? They want a faster, more accurate transaction. They want to be happy. They don't want to be kept waiting. You want, as a dealer, a more productive sales team, and you want to increase your profitability and be more efficient.
Yeah.
Work easy, make more money. That's what we bring.
And consumers now are trained to do so much of this stuff on their own anyway, and they'd rather do it, whether it be booking their own airline tickets or booking their own Airbnb or whatever. I mean, today it's really in the hands of the consumer, right? That's what it's all about. They feel much more in control and therefore much more comfortable and confident about the deal they're about to make, right?
Yeah, that's really, really true because, the Gen Zs, they're so comfortable with technologies.
Yeah.
They're digital native. Again, not like us. We're the immigrants. We're the one that came from this analog world into this digital world, and it's always hard for us.
Right.
But digital natives, they operate very intuitively. They immediately start to look and see, where am I supposed to move this left and right?
That's right.
So we're using that. We're the customer experience, both from the seller side and the customer side. Both of them, on both sides, we utilize the generation and the nativeness and easiness of how they operate with technology.
Yeah, for sure. It sounds very exciting. We'd love to learn more about it. For dealers that are watching, we're going to show the information on the screen right here as to how to be able to get a full demonstration of the product. And it's something that I think you should look into to really bring your dealerships into the 21st century. It's things like this that I agree that Generation Z is all about. My grandchildren, when I take them to dinner or lunch, guess what? They have their iPads out. They don't even want to talk to me. They're just playing their game. They're preparing themselves to use a Fuse or a Fuse-like system in your showroom tomorrow. So get with it, dealers. This is what it's all about. So Yaron Rosen, the CEO of Fuse Autotech, thank you so much for joining us on the show. I know that these are the kinds of solutions that we want to be bringing our dealer audience. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Jim.
Thanks.
Pleasure.
Thanks for watching Driving Solutions, exclusively on CPTnews.com.